Welcome to How to Decorate from Ballard Designs, a weekly podcast all about the trials and triumphs of decorating and redecorating your home. I'm Caroline, I'm on the marketing team.
And I'm Taryn, and I'm a product designer.
I'm Liz, I head up the creative team.
We're your hosts. Join the expert team at Ballard Designs for tips, tricks, and tales from interior designers, stylists, and other talents in the design world.
Plus, we'll answer your decorating dilemmas at the end of each episode.
We love answering your questions, so don't forget to email us at podcast@ballarddesigns.net.
Now, on with the show.
Here we go. We are here for our annual holiday special.
Yes!
And if you are not watching on YouTube, which you are welcome to watch on YouTube if you would like, we're at Taryn's house in her gorgeous dining room.
Thank you.
With her yellow drapes that we've heard so much about, and your mural, and your Miles Red table.
I know. Everything. Right? We've talked about this room to we've beaten that dead horse, I feel like.
But see, now everybody
it's
gets to
so
see
great
it.
to be here.
Thank you. I know. To really get to, you guys finally get to see it after all these. I feel like we talked about it for so long, and it's been 2 years us in the house. So
Yeah.
you guys can enjoy it with me. So, and my painting.
Yes.
This is Caroline's
Our matching
husband did.
paintings.
Yes, our magic ones.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm so glad you guys came over. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
I love talking about the holidays. So, and I love hearing people's traditions and everything. So this will be fun.
Well, I thought, we could kick off with Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a week from now.
Amazing.
And let's talk about hosting. I don't know. I know Liz, we just were talking off mic about Liz is going to be hosting this year, but everybody maybe go around and what are your hosting rituals? Do you have any?
Well, did you have them before you were hosting?
Well, it's been a few years since I've hosted Thanksgiving.
Okay.
When we lived in Los Angeles, we would have a Friendsgiving for everyone who couldn't make it back to their respective homes.
Mm-hmm.
So, honestly, that was early days of Facebook at this point. And so I would just put it on Facebook and say, hey, if you don't have a place to come over. And I think the largest one we had was maybe like 35 or 40 people.
Gosh.
And so we would put,
awesome.
because it was Los Angeles, we had 2 picnic tables and we would put them head to head and just do one big long banquet table. And it was fantastic.
That's really fun.
Outside, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah, where it was more of a potluck situation where I would make the dessert and the turkey and a couple sides, and then everybody else would
bring things to share.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm actually really looking forward to hosting again.
Yeah.
It's been quite some time since I've hosted Thanksgiving, so I'm really looking forward to it.
And how many people?
For seven people.
That's a good amount.
Yeah.
Not crazy and unmanageable, but
It still fits at a table.
Yeah.
Still fits at
One
the table.
big table. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be the first Thanksgiving in our house.
Yeek.
And we have a 60-inch round table. So everybody gets to sit around. And
Amazing.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
Are you do y'all do the sort of traditional foods? Are there different types of things you add in there? Are you like a turkey fan? Some people don't like turkey.
No, that's
Right.
so true.
Very true. We'll do a turkey, probably a small bird,
Yeah.
And this is with my husband's family. And so their traditions are different than our traditions. And so we'll probably do a lot more healthier foods and salads and things like that. And just because that's where they're at.
Yeah.
But I'm going to infuse my own family traditions of we have pierogi for every holiday. So it's I feel like we talked about this last time too.
Yes.
I make just gobs of it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Because they're great leftovers too.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did talk about it last year, which is so fun. And I love that that you could, I feel like it's fun to be able to combine multiple families. I always like that.
It is.
Going to someone's Thanksgiving and being like, oh, I really like their stuffing recipe.
Yeah,
or like,
yeah.
this is a really good,
Right.
and then it kind of gives you a little bit of a new angle for next year.
Yeah.
I always like trying new recipes. I don't have to do the same thing every year.
I think because it's the same, it can be the same meal. Like you
Right.
definitely I agree with you. Like if you get a new cranberry or a new,
Right,
or even a full new dish, I won't even say like a version of. It is very exciting because you're like, oh no, I kind of want to make this for my family next year.
Yeah.
Like if you take it with you. Yeah.
But there are the staples. Like I feel like this is
course.
pretty controversial. Like
Oh, that part
do you
is.
try new recipes for when you're hosting, or do you go tried and true? I mean,
Oh, I like to a little bit of both. There's
Okay.
some I think I mentioned this last year, but like I have a sweet potato recipe that's just very easy. It's the Ina Garten mesh sweet potatoes.
We knew it was Ina Garten.
Yeah, I did question. And I can make it the day before. It's easy to travel with. Like this year we're going to my parents, so we're going to be traveling. So I'll probably make it here in Atlanta and then just like take it and warm it up there.
nice.
So that's something. But then I might like try a new dessert recipe. So I feel like it's a mishmash each year of like some things I do over and over again. And then sometimes it's that recipe that works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if it works, then like,
Yeah. Keep it going.
yeah.
I think the thing I like about that is like I don't make sweet potatoes any other time of the year. So right, like
you don't?
no, not like the mashed.
Oh,
you know, like
yeah,
the sweet. Sorry, I should probably say I don't make sweet potato casserole
Yeah. Okay.
like
Right.
that. No, I do chop up and
I was like, that's like such a, how would you not make it all
I
year
don't make it
round?
mashed
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, no,
Exactly. No, the casserole. With
the casserole style is not something I make except
No,
once a
yeah.
year.
That's a
Or
Thanksgiving.
like I make green beans all the time, but like I know like the green bean casserole is
Right.
a like Southern tradition.
I never have green bean casserole. I make green beans, but it's not necessarily
It's
like,
David's family. It's one that we
Okay.
always have. I
Yeah.
always have that one.
Yeah.
We don't either. We just have fresh green beans.
In
or
like the
whatever.
cream sauce and like the French, like the crispy onions on top, like that kind of green bean?
No.
Or is that like a
What's-
Midwest thing?
It must
so
be.
I think that's a traditional green bean casserole,
Okay.
but is that what you're talking
Oh
about?
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a green bean casserole. I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is how we do it.
Okay.
Or they do it. They do it. And
Right?
but David's mother's from the Midwest. So that checks out.
There you go.
She's from South
But
Dakota.
I feel like that's like a,
I think it's
Is it-
traditional though.
is this-
an American thing. My
Okay.
parents never did that, but I don't know.
What's the like
yeah, I don't know the regionality of
yeah,
of-
what's like the cheesiest food you guys get? Or like our casserole that's like the worst for you that you look forward to?
Oh, well, I love stuffing.
Stuffing.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love stuffing.
I love stuffing.
I mean,
it's just salty, delicious
Yeah.
bread, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
and then I feel like recently I've had one. I can't remember who it was that made this, but like one that's cornbread. That's really good.
Oh.
It's using like cornbread, I guess muffins or something. And they make that into the stuffing. It was really
That sounds
good.
amazing.
That sounds really good too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, now I'm hungry.
So what are like I feel like I have like a, my like hosting sort of
Mm-hmm.
system. What do y'all do in order to like, if you're hosting a big gathering? Do you have certain things that are like your routine?
I mean, I definitely get out all the dishes that I need and get
Mhm.
out all the serveware that I need and like
Mhm.
assign a spoon to a bowl
Mhm.
and kind of put a label in like
Yes.
this is the mashed potato bowl.
Yep.
Like
Mm-hmm.
so somebody doesn't come along and swoop it up and put carrots in it.
Yeah.
Just because you understand like the scale and the quantity of like what it is you're making
Yeah.
in those
Yeah.
bowls. Definitely set up a drinks area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Have
I
you
mean,
ever seen in Martha Stewart Living how she has like, she always has the calendar of what she's doing that month.
I
from like
love that.
planning bulbs to like
I want my
this
life
time of year.
to
She
have
always
that,
has
yeah.
like what she's making at the beginning of like Thanksgiving week, like towards like her prep. And I always love.
Oh, that's
looking
what I
at
do.
That you have
Well,
yours.
I have a system sort of like that.
Okay, you need to tell us about this system then.
I mean,
because I
it's
need
not
to-
like rocket science. I basically just like the week of and I did this like for a Christmas party, like the week of the event, or even 2 weeks, depending on how long it takes to prep. I'll basically just like make a list of literally every single thing I need to do, from extra toilet paper in the bathroom to polishing silver or whatever, like whatever is on the list. And then I just like assign it to a day. So then I know like, okay, a week before there's certain things I can do to take off my list day of
yeah.
to make room for
Yeah.
things that I can't do in advance, right? Like whether that's stocking the guest bathroom or certain little things.
Yeah.
And then I just sort of like assign little tiny tasks for each day.
Yeah.
And that way I can like break up something like hosting
Yeah.
into manageable parts. I mean, it's not,
yeah.
it's just like a big
No.
master to-do list. So like
Yeah.
if if I'm going to make a dish 2 days before, like cookies, then I'll put, I'll know like, okay, I need to make those on Tuesday, and then I'll freeze the dough, and then I'll bake. So then I just like assign it to a day.
Okay. So how early do you start this?
Yeah. How far
Depends
out?
on how big the party is, but like for our Christmas party that we haven't done in a while, but that we used to do every year. I mean, I would probably start like 2 weeks in advance.
Okay.
And some of that's like decorating the house for Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, I need to have my tree up and my lights done.
Yeah.
And then the Sunday before, I know I'm going to buy all my flowers, and then I'm going to arrange them on Wednesday or what. I'm just making it up at this point, but that kind of thing.
And I think with that, you get into a rhythm, because I agree with you on that. It's like, I know a month before Halloween, because that's when I do my big one. It's like, I make that a goal to be like, this is the day I get all the decorations up. Like I need to have all the decorations in place by this date, so that then I can do actual like party prep, and then down to like the things I can't do until like the day of is like, there's plenty you can't, but like even the black lights, I can't put them in until the day of, because it's the worst. You can't live in black lights any other time.
I just love that you change all the bulbs in your house to black lights for Halloween.
It does help with the ambiance.
Yeah, it does.
But I know it's a little different, but it's the same thing where I now have it down to about like a week out is where it really starts, like you said, where you're like, okay, I have to go to the grocery this day so I can make these certain things on this day.
And then you can back out and you're like, okay, I know I'm going to make my cookies on this day, so I need to, if I'm grocery shopping this day, I know what to put on my grocery list. And I also feel like no task is too small to put on the list, because there are always those things for a party that I forget about that then halfway through the party, I'm like, oh gosh, I forgot to light the candle in the powder bath or something. Oh, yeah. So I'll do just even the tiniest thing, whether it's putting ice cubes in the glasses or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that I don't forget. You know what I mean? So then like an hour before, and I even like make time to like blow dry my hair and like, I map that out on the day.
The other good thing about those lists is that when somebody comes in, it's like, oh, how can I help?
Yes.
Or like, check the list.
Yeah, exactly.
Check the list.
Yeah. No, I'm so glad we're having this conversation, because I feel so out of practice. This is great.
And making just like a list of things that, like, if someone's like, hey, do you need me to pick up anything? Like the weird part is I always have ice on that list. I'm like, if anyone offers, I'm going to say yes, and it's ice, or like, because you always need more ice. And I'm like always grateful for the friend who always, or the family member who's always like, hey, do you need us to grab anything while we're headed over? And you're like, yes.
Especially if it's like they're making a day of grocery stop or something. Yeah. Because that's something that I always feel like it's so easy to, in my head, I'm like, oh, I can just make a quick run to the grocery store. But really that could take like an hour.
Yeah. And there's no time for that.
Yeah. You don't have time for that. Exactly. Mm-mm. Yeah. What about the table? What are you going to do on your table?
Oh, God, that's our favorite. Isn't that your favorite too? It's my favorite. The table?
Yeah. I love the table.
I love a place card. I'm always like, what can I paint on, color on, draw on? Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's my favorite.
That would be a great job for kids, for a high schooler.
That's actually when my family gets together, there's a lot more little kids. And so that's what we usually do. We set up at the kids' table and like just come in with a whole bunch of crafts and be like, okay, make the centerpiece.
That's cute.
Yeah. That's really a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a good note. I should add that.
What are y'all's, does anyone have like a recipe that's their favorite they want to share? On this with everyone?
I'm making a winterberry pie.
Oh, what's that?
And it's
winterberries.
Yeah.
Tell us what winterberries are.
I'm about ready for this like savory, warm goodness. So it's a cherry pie.
Okay.
With just kind of a lot of like warm winter spices, like a lot of cinnamon, nutmeg, like
I've never heard of this before.
And then I'll throw in some other berries kind of into the mix. So it's not just a straight up cherry pie. Mm-hmm. So I might throw some blueberries in there. I might throw a blackberry in there. I do not.
Yeah.
I do not.
It's hard. I've never done it successfully.
I've never done a successful crust either.
Yeah.
They're always too mealy. I can't.
Always.
Pillsbury is much better.
You know what? Pillsbury does such a fantastic job.
Yeah.
And people are always complimenting my crust, and that's just fine. But like,
it is something I wish I knew how to do, but I failed so many times that I no longer want to try. Does that make sense?
I have some good recipes. But again, like, I don't have time for that. Yeah. There's a whole lot of chilling. There's a whole lot of like making
your
sure
butter needs to be the right temperature.
No. Yeah. Like Pillsbury is awesome. So then I really focus heavily when I make a pie on the fillings.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I make the best filling possible.
Seriously.
Absolutely. I love that.
I might need to make a test pie.
Yeah. Are you gonna do a tester before, or are you just gonna like wing it?
Sometimes I wing it.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of times I just wing it. I have recipes, but a lot of times it's like water for chocolate. You just got to feel it in the moment and put your energy and love into it and see what comes out.
And really, if it's a huge disaster, you can go get an additional pie somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's happened to me before.
Yeah.
See, I won't make pumpkin pies for this
reason.
Pumpkin pie.
What?
You don't
like it?
Pumpkin pie.
You're not going to be.
Do you do a pecan or a sweet potato or pie?
Ooh,
do you like
any dessert? I love a pecan pie. I do love dessert.
Okay.
But I also
feel like it's so pie. It's such pie season.
It's a pie season.
I've made a caramel cheesecake. I'll make anything that like feels fallish. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
Will doesn't like pecan pie, but I really like pecan pie. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Continue about your pie.
This happened many, many years ago, Thanksgiving at my mom's house. And it was kind of the first year that my grandmother couldn't make the pies anymore. Aww. And so we're like, okay, we're going to step into this role and we're going to make the pumpkin pies. And we made the pies. And for some reason, we totally mismeasured the salt.
Oh, no.
And we're like, look, these look so beautiful. And we're like, let's just test. And we tested one. We're like, oh. And we just like puckered.
It was like a pumpkin soup instead. It was like a savory pie.
It was horrible.
Yeah,
we could not serve it to anyone. They went straight into the trash and we said sorry. But yeah, that was
so what did you do? Where'd you go get your pies from?
I mean, at that point, it was already Thanksgiving Day. Like we were just...
You couldn't even go to like the grocery store?
We were just out of luck.
Yeah.
We just like made cookies.
Oh, there you go.
Instead.
I mean,
like, yeah.
There's nothing better than a warm chocolate chip cookie.
Right?
I mean.
But yeah, so yeah, that was that debacle. And my mom and I will not attempt again. Again. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we never had like pumpkin pie growing up. I mean, it wasn't an anti thing, but it just like wasn't a staple.
Yeah.
So any dessert, it works for me. It could be apple pie. It could be anything.
I love pumpkin pie.
Yeah. I feel like we never had pumpkin pie either. But I don't know why. We always had apple related things and like a chocolate pie.
Yeah.
But we never had pumpkin pie. But I like it a little, but not enough to order it.
Can you share your winterberry pie recipe with us?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
What about you, Taryn? What's your favorite recipe that you've ever made?
I was thinking about that, and I think I'm one of those people, like you said, who like a lot of the dishes we only have during that time. Like I don't even make mashed potatoes. Like, do you guys make mashed potatoes like on any other time of the year?
Occasionally, like if we're having steak or something.
Okay,
Will really like
fair.
steak and mashed potatoes as like a birthday dinner or something.
Okay, so but we literally don't. Other than on shepherd's pie. Like that's the topper. And that's about it. And so I think I look forward to like the kind of repetition of the food. So, but again, just once. It's when you go to like a third Thanksgiving meal that you're like, well, that's done. Yeah, and that's where I like love a version. But for me, I love like a good take on a cocktail, like a spin on it, like a cranberry margarita, or like I love adding that into the mix, like some kind of fun different cocktail to kind of start the night.
Yeah. How do you break it? Because, okay, you've got 4 sisters and your mom. So how do y'all like divide up
the day?
Does someone do the turkey? Everyone does the sides? Like what happens?
Yeah, based on who's the best at what, right?
Oh,
like everybody's made a mistake, like she was saying, and we're like, no, do not put them in charge of the squash. So one sister's pretty good at making sweets, and so she usually comes up with something too decadent, and so we're like, cool, you make that, yes, that's working. And then one who's a little healthier, who's like, all right, I'll bring the green beans and I'll bring the squash, and so we divide.
Are your sisters and is everybody good cooks?
Yeah. It's pretty. I mean, it's pretty simple though. My parents are from Maine, but like very like bland eating. Like I grew up very bland. So like they're like anything. If you add too much of anything, my mom's like, "Whoa, what is going on here? This wasn't salt and pepper, like even garlic or lemon.
Garlic and lemon.
That's what I meant by like I want to give you a level so you knew where we were at. We're like so."
You need those in every recipe, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She has never cooked with either in her life. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just to give you a perspective on, I think I was just simple. So
do you feel like your sisters like went the opposite direction?
Yeah. Like we've all, I think, yeah. But I also feel like that's where the internet and like, all has really helped all of us to be like, oh, you made that? Or like, that looks pretty. Let's try that. So,
yeah.
I always think the fun cocktail is always kind of fun. So I feel like I'm usually the one who brings that. And then we have some sisters who are just lazy, who are like, I'm going to roll in. There's 2 of those. Everyone else is helpers, but the other ones who aren't, no, they're not. So they'll say it. They're like,
so everyone sort of splits up the responsibilities. And
oh yeah, the lazy ones will say, well, I'm not doing the dishes. They will avoid. Yeah.
Do you go to Augusta?
Yes, we do it in Augusta.
Who sets the table?
My mom. She likes to do traditional. When I do it here, or when we like David's family's a little more flexible. And I'll set a fun table here. I think that's why I was saying like, oh, I love it. Like I did last year, like the pumpkins in the middle with the moss and the wooden little mushrooms. And it was so pretty and fun. Or for friends, I'll do that. Because I'll do a Friendsgiving too. But for actual Thanksgiving, it's pretty traditional. My mom just sets out the same stuff. But I think I love that about Thanksgiving. And my other big Thanksgiving Day one is we always start with the Macy's Day Parade. Like we do not move until that is like, I mean, you get like 2 hours in and you've lost everyone, because it's a pretty long parade.
Yeah.
But that first like hour when it's like coming and they're like, and Sin is coming. I'm like,
yeah. Do all the sisters come over?
Most do.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
In PJs or what?
In PJs. Well, most are at my mom's house. It's a 5-bedroom, and each family essentially only gets one room. So we make it work. There's a lot of kids on sofas and stuff, but it's fun.
So fun.
It's chaos because there's not enough restrooms. Literally, there's one upstairs with the 4 bedrooms. Like we grew up with one restroom upstairs and 4 bedrooms.
Yeah.
So it's a little like you have to take your time slot for the shower that day.
Yeah. But if it's open, fun. Then that's when you're showering. It's not like a
yeah. Exactly. So it's that chaos, but I look forward to it, know. But anyway.
Yeah, there's joy in the chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we switch to Christmas now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like we had our list of Christmas points to hit is much longer. So I want to make sure we have time for it.
Okay, let's do it.
Unless there's anything outstanding about Thanksgiving we want to talk through.
No, I think Thanksgiving is just that, like, again, it's the launch. Like, it's the launch into really the season. Yeah, and it really feels like that whole, like, here we go. So that's what I love about Thanksgiving.
Well, maybe we can post our favorite recipes in the show notes. Mine is my sweet potatoes from Ina Garden.
I love that you have that. And I definitely made a great cranberry margarita, and I will look that up. Yeah. I will send that one because it was so good. And we need your winterberry pie recipe, obviously.
I'll throw that in. It's winter cherry berry pie.
Ooh, I also have some garlic green beans that are like super good.
Yeah.
They have like cheese on them. I mean,
what's not to like about that? Yeah, love it. All right, so Christmas. I assume that right after Thanksgiving, it's going into high gear for everybody. Yes?
It is.
Mm-hmm. And Hanukkah falls after, or it starts on Christmas Day this year. Oh. So that's the fun part too, is if you're a dual family so it's kind of a fun, that'll be right after, which is
that cool. is fun.
Oh, wow.
Well, Thanksgiving is so late.
Great.
So yeah,
we have a squish season. So sorry. So yes, Christmas. When do you start decorating? Is that what you started with? Is that what you said?
Well, that's what I was asking. Yeah.
When do you start? Well, I have heard people because of how late, like that.
Yeah.
They want to do it before.
Yeah.
Because it is so late. I mean, I kind of got really inspired by our conversation with Carson Kressley, who starts decorating the tree
on Thanksgiving Day.
Brings the tree out after dinner and has everyone help trim the tree. And I just think that sounds so fun.
That does sound fun.
That is fun.
That just sounds really fun.
Yeah.
And anybody who did listen to last year, I'm still like recovering after like lugging the tree up myself last year, and then nobody wanted to help. And I was like, So I'm going to make it an event.
I like that.
I'm going to do that.
Especially if you're hosting. This is your chance. I like this. Making the best.
Yeah. So I think we're going to do that. Fun. But traditionally, our family doesn't put the tree up until December 8th, which is my dad's birthday.
Oh,
that was kind of like
like to celebrate his birthday, or in order for him to have a birthday that's pre-Christmas?
I don't know, but that was kind of like his rule. Like the tree doesn't go up. Like I think he probably wanted that separation.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it didn't go up till after his birthday or on the birthday, the day
Either.
after.
Either. Yeah. But that was when we always had a live tree, and
Yeah.
we don't have a live tree right now. So
Yeah.
it's going up.
Yeah.
It's going up.
Yeah.
What about you this year?
Well, we are going out of town for
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
So
And so I didn't really think about that. And so now I'm kind of annoyed with myself because that means we really can't decorate until the next weekend.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because we won't be, in town. So
And then you're in December already.
yeah, it'll be like
Yeah.
December 8th. So, but I mean, I don't know. I just,
So
me,
you celebrate
like,
my dad's birthday. That's
So
awesome.
the tradition lives on is what I'm hearing.
so I'm like kind of annoyed by that, but I mean, like, it's nothing really I can do about it. I mean, the good news is I feel like we are staying here. Sometimes like I
For
like to
Christmas.
decorate
Mhm.
early because we often go out of town on Christmas. And so then it's
Right.
like, if you're not in your own house for Christmas,
Yeah.
it feels like such a letdown because you put all this work into decorating your own house and then you're not there. So at least we'll be like around. So that's good.
Yeah.
But normally I would love to do it like on Saturday or Sunday of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Would be like my normal kind of routine.
Yeah. Well, we're starting sooner this year as well. Just
So you
'cause
are
of-
going to do it before.
We usually wait Thanksgiving weekend. That's like the
Right.
all right, haul it up, because it's usually with having the 4 days
Yeah.
off. It's like Thursday, Friday are generally actually Thanksgiving-ish related, and then Saturday, Sunday are like football.
Yeah.
Nothing. So
do
it's
you do
usually-
a real tree?
We do. I still love it.
I
Every
do too,
year,
but
we get a scraggly one with a hole or squirrel or and I'm like, why? But I love it.
Yeah.
We have I think I probably said this last year. I have a fake one I put in this corner so that because I love seeing twinkly lights in
Mhm.
someone's front of their house. So I distinctly bought a big one that's just fake for the front of the house. And then the kids, and then I have another one for the kids, and each of them have their own little tree for their room.
Mhm.
And then I do a real one in the living room because I want to sit and smell
Yeah.
next to the fireplace, a tree, and I want my
Yeah.
presents under there.
Yeah.
So I do multiple, but I don't I'm not as, I don't have the bandwidth to decorate them all, to
To
a
of course
T.
not. That's a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
So
Is the I assume the fake one is at least pre-lit. So
yeah, the fake ones are all pre-lit, so I don't have to do any work. I
Yeah.
can just plug them in and
Yeah.
put a bow on top technically.
Yeah.
But this year we actually have David's company. They're going to have their holiday party here. So, but that is December 5th.
Oh my gosh.
So as soon as you guys leave,
Yeah.
or we finish
You're
taping
packing
this,
up
I
to
actually
Thanksgiving.
surprise. We're gonna go into the basement and get the fake trees. Yeah, so we'll probably start that the weekend before Thanksgiving now, just because I was like, I gotta get some
that's a lot.
lots of juicing up this everything you've shoved into a box for a year. They're like, oh, this garland's fine.
Yeah.
The fake stuff and the real stuff. So, but it is hard to buy the real stuff in advance because you are like,
Right.
I want it to last the
You
season.
want it to last.
Yeah.
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 Anyway.
Well, I will say that is one advantage to flocking your own tree. It sort of mummifies it. And
Oh, I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah.
I love that you do that every year.
I do love that you flock
Well,
yours.
now that it's so pretty that I can't not do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just, I do, and I have it to a system to where I feel like I can.
You've done it enough years now
Yeah.
that you guys know how to do it.
Yeah.
You're over the hump of learning.
Right. And it doesn't really takes me 45 minutes.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
It's
To just
hosing
deflect
and dumping the
But
stuff
you just
on
have a
it, right?
mister on your hose and mist the whole thing down and then get out there with a paper cup, sprinkle on the snow, hose it down again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not too crazy.
Yeah.
But did I tell you all about my new Christmas lights?
Did you buy them at the end of last year?
I bought them last year for my Christmas tree.
Okay.
Yes, these are
Because-
the ones that are small and big.
Yes.
Aha! Memory.
Yes. Okay, well then that means I talked about it on the show. But I will say they were totally life-changing. So if you feel like you might be in the market for some Christmas tree lights.
Yes.
Okay.
And they need upgrading. Because I feel like, after 10 years, it's kind of
10 years is aggressive. I was going to say 5 years. I feel like you get kind of
well,
I don't know, bulbs go
when they
out
start go
and-
out, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But the compact Christmas lights that we sell, and we other people sell them, it's not exclusive to us, but they have much smaller lights and twice as many lights per inch as a regular string of Christmas lights. And so I just felt like my tree was more twinkly than ever. It has 2 different colors of lights. It has a more blue and a more warm.
Mm-hmm.
maybe not blue. Blue is the wrong word. A more clear and a more warm.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that just, it was just so pretty.
Your tree last year was so
It was
gorgeous.
the prettiest tree I've ever
I'm still
done.
thinking about it.
I'm worried
Didn't
that
you
it
do
won't be
bows as well?
I always do ribbon.
Yeah.
This year I was thinking about doing like bows. Maybe what you're thinking of is I tie my icicles to the tree with like a white 1/4-inch satin ribbon.
Yes.
Okay.
But that's
I thought that was such a great ad, especially right now. When I think we've all seen the bows and the ribbons like on everyone's trees. So like tying.
You know what? I saw it. Will's aunt did an entire Christmas tree of all glass ornaments one year, and it was like the most spectacular tree I've ever seen. And so that's what gave me the idea for the glass icicles. And then when we had kids, it's just the only way to make them like really stay on the tree was tying it to the branch.
Yeah.
And it works really well. I mean, they stay on there. I haven't had any breaks yet.
Huh.
So, but the glass icicles are really just so pretty.
Yeah.
Those are so pretty.
So that's my favorite part of it.
Decorating.
Okay, well, that actually ties in. I was going to say I did ask some girlfriends to send me their holiday questions. So some of these are from
Oh, great.
just some holiday questions. And one of them was, what's the most low effort, high impact decorating tip for those of us who hate Christmas decorating? And okay, so I was thinking about this a little bit. I know I've just sprung it on you, but I was thinking that I really feel like the Christmas tree, if you can just do like take your Christmas tree up a notch, that is like, put your effort there, right? Like, and I did a house tour with Maggie Griffin, who we all love, and it was her holiday house. And that was kind of one of the things she mentioned, like doing less spots in your house, like pick 3 places and really nail those. And then just kind of like let everything else go, unless you sort of get a wild hair and like, want to take it on. But I feel like a great wreath on the front door, like whether that is a fake wreath you buy somewhere, if you go to your nursery and just get like a really big, great fresh one and a good bow, and then a really beautiful Christmas tree. And to me, like if you kind of do those up, you can like let everything else kind of go on the back burner.
Yeah,
no, that's totally true.
I was going to say the pre-lit tree for me again. That's one that like if you are just there is no energy, those things literally pop it up and
right.
But what about fluffing? Do you not feel like you have to fluff it up?
If you want it to look really good, but again, I'm saying like say you are taxed on time. You generally, depending on how you stored it, it's okay. It needs a little zhuzhing. Even it might not all stick out in the room. You can just do the side that sticks out, like the side you see.
Like if it's in a corner, you can just do the front half.
Yeah.
Seriously, you can go boom, boom. And then like, when you get a glass of wine later on and you feel like you can judge a little bit more, go in on that. But like,
I think the entrance, like you said, I think there's that whole like bringing that seasonal into your entrance of like greeting people, like saying you are, having that, and then a place where you're always at. Like that's what I love about Christmas is like there's a designated space where you guys sit and enjoy it. And I think that space being like perfect or like making that feel the way you want it to feel for the season.
Yeah. I'm going to focus a lot on my front porch and just kind of because I don't have an entryway to kind of welcome people in. I'm using my front porch and I've redecorated it for fall and kind of really focused on that. And now I'm really kind of excited to do that for Christmas.
Like, what are you going to do? Like, are you throws on chairs change out? Are you full lights?
I'm going to take the chairs down to the basement and going to put a full up Christmas tree on the porch.
I love it.
and then our big Christmas tree is right when you walk in the door. So I feel like, got a little forest vibe going on and I'm just going to own it. Yeah.
I like that.
Love that. Yeah. I love the idea of decorating the porch like it's a living room.
Yeah. I'm really excited by that.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Well, then you kind of get to like, there's something like you were talking about having the twinkle lights in the front window. And I just feel like that is driving down your neighborhood when you can see everyone's Christmas tree. And I just love that.
Right. It's really the lights that yeah. I love going to like look at the lights in the winter. Like December, being able to drive around and everyone's lights.
I started noticing like there've been a few pop up.
I've seen a few already. Yeah.
It's really exciting. You know what? I think that we did not actually take the Christmas lights out of our maple tree. So I think we can just go ahead and start turning those on. Hopefully they actually work.
Gosh.
And yeah.
I was wondering when people do the whole tree, like each of those branches, how many people like actually take it off versus keep it all season?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm worried that they're not going to be functioning. Now, luckily, since I bought all of new Christmas lights, we just took the old lights and put them outside. So it's not like I bought brand new Christmas lights that now are going to be dead, because that would be really upsetting. But yeah, we'll see. I'll let you know. I actually just thought about that recently because, you know, it has leaves on it right now. So I kind of forgot, like, does it still have the Christmas lights on? I think it does. I don't think we ever took them down. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about, so low effort, high impact decorating. Any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, the pop-up, the like pre-lit tree is like number one.
Or pre-lit garland.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-lit anything. It's just so that's easy.
The lights are the biggest headache, I think.
Yeah. That's why if it's pre-lit, save yourself. If that's an area you find tension and makes you not want to do it, just avoid it.
Okay, well, one question we had was how to convince my husband to get a fake tree.
Oh, well, I mean... Yeah, I mean, I was anti-fake tree for quite some time. Like we always had to have a real tree. And yeah, until we bought like a 9-foot tree and we had to get it home in a Honda Fit. That was fun. We did it. We got it home and then we had to actually
you have to put it up.
Yeah, it didn't fit in the house. We had to cut it. But I was always real tree, but there's just something so great about having a tree up and lit in 20 minutes. Like that's really your selling point right there.
Yeah.
The fact that you don't have to string all those lights unless you want to go the extra mile and add more lights in or things like that. So just like invest in a really good, pretty one.
Where'd you get yours
want to use? I got mine from Ballard Designs.
Which one is it?
We don't sell this one anymore. It's a vintage light one. It's really the first tree that we did that you put the parts A, B, and C on top of each other and they automatically connect. And it has 3 different size lights in it. So it has very small lights, regular lights, and then it has like the classic vintage bulbs that are all white. So I think I've got another year of it. I've had it for some time now, for maybe 9 years, and I think the lights are starting to. We'll see. We'll see how she does this.
That was going to be my next question. Like, what about like do they go out? Is that annoying?
I don't know. I have a vague recollection that like there was one string that was like not totally on, but it was like the medium one, so that I could like fake it with adding more in there. So I'll have to see like where the tree's at. But
because that's the place where it would get really annoying to me, that it almost feels not worth it.
Yeah.
When it's not working.
But seriously, I've had this one for probably 8 years.
Every year at the end of Christmas, am like, maybe next year is the year we get the fake Christmas tree, because it is such a headache. So I am pro, but
it depends. If her husband's the one dealing with it, I'm kind of like, do you have an argument?
Yeah. You mean if he's the one setting it up and putting the lights on? Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you're the one who's doing it, I can see, again, you're like, I am tired of being covered in sap and putting these, and
their needles all year, and like it's crooked this year.
Just tell them good luck.
Okay, but there is something super magical about going to the Christmas tree lot and finding the tree that you're going to bring home. There's something really like it's like a low commit puppy, right? Yeah. Like, like you
I need
get
to
it
keep you alive for 1 month.
It's just for that short time, and then we say so long. But like, so we do a real tree in our family room. in again, like in the spot where we're going to spend the most time, where we do want the smells. And like, so I feel like that's kind of the best of both worlds.
To have multiple trees.
Is to have multiple trees.
Yeah.
And that second tree does not need to be a big tree. It can be a 4-foot tree, you know, a smaller investment. Like, And then you can go wackadoodle on that one. Like, that's the one that we go like hot pink or like do something like really fun.
On your real one or on your fake one?
On the real one. On the smaller one.
Yeah. Oh, got it.
Yeah.
You get a little one at the tree lot.
Yeah. So we get a smaller one at the tree lot, and then everybody's happy. And then, everybody's happy. You do a little experimental.
Your tree skirts. Do y'all have a traditional fabric tree skirt? Do you have a wicker tree skirt? What do you do there?
I have the Jonathan Adler one I bought years ago. It's felt. Yeah, so I mean, that's what I have right now.
Yeah.
But I have had it for a few years.
It drives me insane how it always gets wet and then it like gets rumpled. It always moves around. I'm really kind of thinking I might need like a collar. Yeah.
I think the collars make a lot of sense.
It doesn't on an artificial tree. Just like
it what?
It does not get rumpled or wet on a
That's true. There we go. There's another solid argument. But I do think the wicker or the collars have been actually a great addition.
Those are really pretty great.
Because to your point, they just don't get nasty.
And mine always like, I bought a really pretty one that was in Suzanne Kasler's collection years ago, but it's like whenever I wash it, like it doesn't look right. And then I'm like, oh God, I'm gonna have to iron it. Anyway, it's just kind of, it's sort of a headache. Maybe that's what I need to get this year. I feel like we all last year talked about how we kind of add one little thing to our collection each year. So that needs to be my thing this year. What's on your list for this year?
Oh, more wreaths. Again, after talking to Carson, he was talking about how he puts a wreath in every window. And I just loved the thought of that. So I hit Joann's this weekend. No, I totally did. And just like got like a bunch of small faux wreaths that I'm just going to string up with ribbon in definitely my kitchen and family room. And then
on the inside or the outside?
Inside,
yeah.
Inside. And then I got an estate sale this weekend also, like found 3 matching medium-sized wreaths.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. And so those are going to go on the front porch. So, and you know, the ones from Joann's, like they're a little wimpy and you know, that's
Can you
fine.
shove some extra?
Exactly. So I'm gonna hit
is really helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna hit and get some fresh branches.
Yeah.
And then shove those in there.
What's on your list, Taryn?
You were just asking that. I was thinking I need to do some new stocking holders. So I was thinking about getting ours because they're pretty cute.
You know what? I love the essential stocking holder.
Yeah.
Do you have the essential one?
I don't. That's what I meant. Like, I need to just get that. And
if anyone is like annoyed, here's the thing that's annoying about stocking holders. Because my mom has all, you know, with all the grandkids, you've got to have all these stocking holders. But then when you put stuff in them, they get too heavy. And then the thing is really heavy. And if a child even touches the stocking, it turns into like a concussion. You know, right there. And that is what is so great about our essential one. Because it's just like a long sort of heavy band that goes across the whole top of your mantle. You don't have to put any hooks in. Yeah. It works great on marble too. Like it
works good on a console if you don't have a fireplace.
Yep. You can get as many hooks as you need. Oh my gosh, I love it. Yeah. Every year. I'm like, this is the greatest invention ever.
Maybe I need to get that.
Yeah. It's good. I highly recommend. I tried to convince my mom to get it, but she had already had like all the stocking holders. And every year I'm like, but someone's going to go to the emergency room.
I feel like I'm over my stocking holders. Yeah. I've kind of done the bisque little houses that light up on my mantle, and then like stocking holders that are little houses that you put a tea light in, and they're very sweet and charming. But I think I want to do something different.
Yeah. Well, highly recommend our essential one. It's not like super decorative, but it is a good base for anything decorative you want to put on top of it. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, garland or whatever. that is something that I need to work on this year. Other than my tree. Well, I haven't, I've perfected my tree. I feel like I have a system for like where I like things, but I have never really gotten my mantle to a place where I like it. There's something about the wall color in there. It's like that mauve pink color. And I just haven't got the right, like,
hasn't worked.
I need to work on it. I feel like I got the angel pine garland last year, but I think I need to wrap it with some fresh garland to like help it fill out a little bit more. And then, I don't know, that green just kind of looks weird in there. I don't know. I'm gonna have to play with
shade. Maybe you need like magnolia leaves or something instead.
I was thinking maybe I need to like flock some of the garland a little bit.
I was just going to say, like, what if you did something that was a different color than green?
And then I was also thinking maybe I should like spray paint some magnolia leaves and stick that in there like metallic or something.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Yeah, you should.
You can always try it because worst case you
just don't use it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's kind of something I need to like work on for this year. But other than that, I kind of like have gotten to a place where I'm happy with it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we just all like need a little update.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm ready for the update.
Yeah. And
do y'all change do you do like, you've talked about how you do like some hot pinks and things. Yeah, what is your color?
So same, like maybe I feel like there's been so many colors since then that I'm kind of like, maybe I will do a color update. But that's just in my mind a few ornaments, like a good chunk of ornaments to get that story across on a tree, and the ribbon to like complement it. I did love all the ribbon trees last year, so I'm thinking about doing maybe I'll do a play on that.
Yeah. Sure. I love the ribbon trees for a few reasons. First off, if you don't have a ton of ornaments, it's a great way to make your tree like feel like unified. You have more, And then also, they don't break.
And they don't
break. If you have kids, pets, if your cat climbs your tree, like you don't have to worry about the ribbon. Yeah.
And ribbons generally. You can get it reasonably.
Well, I told you about Amazon. I love my Amazon ribbon. Highly recommend Amazon for ribbon.
Yes.
You can get like a 50-yard spool.
Yeah.
For like $10.
Yeah.
I think I went on a diatribe last year about Target having terrible ribbon. And I stand by it.
Oh, I do. Another area that we didn't talk about, but is like, what is your scheme for presents? Do you have a scheme for your wrapping?
What do you mean like a scheme?
So wrapping's another area where I get really excited. And I bet Liz, because she's in a packaging kind of mindset, also gets really excited. So like whatever wrapping paper I decide is going to go with my tree.
Yes. I want it to coordinate. Yes.
Have you decided any of that yet?
Yeah, that one's hard because then it just depends on what you can find. You know what I mean? So if I find like a good wrapping, then at this point I kind of like my color palette for holiday, so I kind of just try to find wrapping that goes with it.
Fair enough.
Okay. But,
that's fair. Yeah.
But yeah, in the past I have tried like I'll do like pink and red or craft paper with satin bow or something.
Well,
I do love our ribbons. I do love our papers that you did. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Really I painted a few this year, and I'm excited. Like I need to buy a few rolls. So
I really like that blue stripe one with the red.
Oh, it's
I
really
might
good.
get a few rolls of that one. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm excited. I'm excited to see if people buy it. But yes, I need to get a few rolls myself. Is my main because I want to do it. Because I can be like, look, see, I made the wrapping paper too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the gift. Surprise. There's nothing inside.
You open it, it's just more rolls of wrapping paper.
But I do think that's a fun way too. If you're feeling extra crazy, like, or creative in the season, I think thinking also like what.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, wrapping paper, some ribbons, and like one box of ornaments from Target, and you can totally change the color palette that you've had.
Totally.
That is something that always I love, and that's why one of the reasons I love doing my tree so much, because I can make it look different each year while essentially using all of the same ornaments over and over again.
Yeah.
Like if I change the ribbon color and I change the wrapping paper, it totally makes it look new, and that's always really fun for me. Like, how to make it take it up a notch, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
I just think to me, the tree is where that is where the effort really pays off, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Nice.
What about hosting? Are y'all hosting in the holidays? Do you host out of town guests? Do you host
Christmas? I go a lot. Again, we go
out of town.
And we don't host as much, I feel like, in the Christmas. Other than, again, like a friend's event.
Yeah.
But I love it because I definitely have plaid tablecloths, and I look forward to like any to use holiday china and stuff too. I love, again, just the seasonality.
When do you bring out your holiday china? After Thanksgiving?
I truthfully, I don't have like I don't have a display place for it. So I just, at the meals, like I'll bring it out. Yeah.
But when do you start using it? After Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Just like when you decorate
I'll try to. Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to own it, I'm going to use it. Yeah. You know, so I do try to use all the holiday stuff throughout the season. So, yeah. So
where did your Christmas pattern come from? Is it just like things you've collected? Was it, I feel like some people register for it for their wedding or.
I didn't. My mom has some Lennox traditional. I may be the holly one. But I painted one for Ballard, and that's the one I use.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, that's nice. I don't have separate china for Christmas.
Yeah.
I do have some like little dessert plates and like melamine things for like the kids' table and things like that. But yeah, I just bring out my grandma's dishes, which I think are just so sweet. And anytime we get to use them, I just feel really happy and connected to her.
Yeah. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah.
But you?
I don't have a Christmas pattern. I don't know. I mean, I love dinnerware, but I think I've told you this. I don't know. I don't love like just one season things.
Yeah.
Like it just seems like
I don't know. That's why I like to use it for the whole season versus like the one meal.
Yeah,
because you are kind of like wolf.
Right.
So I have like certain of my china patterns that I think are more festive.
How many different china patterns do you have?
That was going to be the next question.
I mean, I have like my grandmother's. I have both sides of my grandmother's. Like both of my grandmothers have like multiple patterns. Anyway, it's a lot. I have the pattern that my grandmother used every year for Thanksgiving. So I'll use that at Thanksgiving, but it's not like a Thanksgiving theme.
No, but
it's just sort of like a red-orange color palette that works.
Okay.
And then I have like my other grandmother's, and then I have the one I registered for. So I really only have 3.
Okay.
And then I have like certain random plates, like sets of 10 plates or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's really awesome. Yeah, I'm starting to think about that too. Like, okay, I have my everyday plates, and then I have my grandmother's china, which is not really china. It was just what she,
but like a dinnerware pattern.
Yeah. It's her dinnerware pattern, and I think it's super sweet, like mid-century cutie. And then I have stoneware that was my husband's grandmother's.
It's awesome. But it's nice. I feel like that's the best part, right? Is like remembering
it totally is.
And like the things.
And then when you find a piece that goes with it at an estate sale or
that's always fun.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the best.
And I feel like, to speak back to yours, I do try not to get too much that's of seasonal. Like for instance, like I put out this tray today because it's mushrooms. And so like, that's like a very kind of fall-esque.
Yes.
And like tortoise, is so great for the like fall and winter because the brown hues and wood bowls and more of, so it is funny how I'll use certain materials where like, I feel like in the spring I forgot everything white and green and like a lot more white ceramics and
that I love that. I guess it's like just the, and I appreciate the Spode Christmas. I love it. Like my mom has some mugs and stuff that I think is fun to use. And I love when people use it for their, I don't know. Yeah. I guess if I'm going to buy a whole new dinnerware pattern, there are other ones that I'd rather do that I feel like are more versatile throughout the year. So that's all.
But you know what's good is a cookie plate. Like those kind of accent plates and that kind of thing. And then like, if there are mugs that are specific to the season, like mug. There's nothing that like makes me feel more nostalgic than a Marshall Fields cocoa mug. Like because we would go every year to see.
It's funny. My Will's mom like collected Santa mugs. Those ones with like Santa's face on them. And so I think like somehow we got them maybe out of their attic or something, and we were using them, and we were like really excited to use them, especially with the girls. Like they were old enough to like want to drink hot cocoa and stuff. But there's something about them, and I think it's because like the handle is hollow.
Don't sip well.
Oh, you cannot hold it.
Yeah.
It's so hot. Like because the handle is hollow. So the coffee or the cocoa actually goes up into the handle. And so
you can't actually hold them.
We don't get them out anymore because they're so like they're not usable for like a cup of coffee.
They're good. They're good for leaving milk out for Santa.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
what they're for.
I know, but
that's what we use them for. That's what we use them for. Yeah, no, because you can't put hot liquids in them.
I know, it's like so silly.
That's what you need to picture like White Russians. Like
but
Christmas
why do you need? We don't need 12 mugs for Santa. Like
fair. That's why you gotta think of a good drink that goes in there. Yeah, like a good
White Russian.
I like something that needs a mug. Like some kind of mule, that needs like a fun way to do it.
Anyway, but they're really cute on your shelf if you want to display them. But can't.
That would be okay. Yeah. That would be really fun. Like going back to your like party cocktail theme, like to like have a row of those out on a console with like some punch.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, like that would be funny.
Yeah,
because you would want
I'd drink out of
it. Yeah. I'd drink from that.
Any hacks that you've learned over the year? I feel like the hack is the faux Christmas tree. Mm-hmm. Oh, you had a great one last year actually, where you talked about hanging up your wreaths just on a nail in your basement so that they're like stay fluffed and everything.
Oh, yeah, praise be that. That was a great one. Still gets me.
Good.
Yeah,
I mean everything just stays so nicely. That's a good one. I do love a good command hook. They make so many different sizes, and a lot of them are the plastic part is reusable, and you just buy the stickers. So those have become real handy. You'll probably see them all over my house from Halloween. I was kind of like, do I leave them up or not?
Right.
Like, I'm gonna put something here. So
I love the ones with the like movable hook.
Yes.
Do you have any of those? Those are so handy.
Hook.
Those are good.
Because you can like put them on the underside of something. Like those are great. I love those.
So I definitely think command hooks has been like definitely a good friend of mine of recent years.
Oh, definitely.
Fishing line.
Ooh,
I use a ton of fishing line.
Yeah,
Christmas.
fishing. Yes.
Our tree fell over one year, so we like attach our tree to the wall in two pieces.
Oh, wow. I love it. But it makes sense.
But we just leave the hooks up year round, and then you just string the fishing line.
Doesn't your cat get on yours or something?
Oh man. So yeah.
I think it's a normal thing. I think most cats get in trees.
She doesn't. She's not getting into the tree, but what she does is like, well, for Finn's, like ever since Finn was baby, I've been getting a bird ornament every year, so I can't put the bird ornaments on the tree.
Did she try to eat them?
Because she's just like toys.
She thinks they're real.
She thinks
birds.
they're toys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like
well, we talked about last year, but you need to get one of those like display trees.
Yes,
things.
I need a way to display them, but a way that is like higher up. So maybe that's something I'll try to figure out this year is like how to display them.
Yeah, we might have to circle back in December once we've decorated on this, because I feel like the problem is I've been 11 months since I've hit this holiday, so I'm like,
when do you start planning your holiday stuff? Like when do you start thinking about it in the year?
Now,
really, right about now.
Yeah. I need Halloween to end. Like I take every holiday by I don't get ahead.
So you don't do any planning like pre-Halloween. I'm not saying like putting stuff up, but just like, thinking about it.
Like I won't even look at the sections in the store until Halloween. I'm like, all right, now.
Really?
Yeah. This was
really
I have to scope it out. I have to see what everybody brought out as new. Like, what am I going to want to buy?
I do that in August for Halloween, but like I don't. Yeah, Christmas. I'd like to wait till. I feel like Halloween's a big.
When do you start your Christmas shopping?
Ooh, that's a good one too.
Oh, see, I'm really. I feel like I'm turning a corner where actually I do have a few Christmas presents already.
Hot dog, girl.
But I mean, there's a lot of folks to shop for. So between nieces and nephews and parents and siblings and everything. So I do have a couple things, but that's really hard for me because I can't keep a secret. So I have to hide them from myself.
That's
cute. Have you ever lost them and found them later? Because I did that once.
Yes.
I bought some things and I was like, where did that thing go? I don't know. And then found it like a year and a half later.
Oh my gosh.
Mid-January, I gave my husband a laser level that I found later. So
Happy New Year.
You're like,
There you
this is your
go.
birthday present that was 6 months ago, but I've already bought lots of Christmas presents. Oh, I start
Really?
shopping in like
You're
July.
so ahead of it, Caroline.
So when do you start? Because you were shocked. When do
Well, I probably start like maybe late July or August. It depends, but I always have a list on my phone as I think of ideas of like, this would be a good gift.
Oh, that's
so
smart.
I've sort of
So
been
smart.
thinking of like, if I see something go on sale, like I'm going to buy it when it's, when
that makes sense.
I don't know.
Right.
And also, I don't know. I feel like spreading it out into more months
Makes it
No,
helps
that's
helps
the
my
smart
bank
thing
account.
to do. That is
No,
the
it
smart
is
thing to
I
do.
think most people, yeah.
So I just started stockpiling things and even just like, and like we went on trips. So we bought like a ton of stocking stuffers on our trips and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so back to my estate sales. I've been hitting a lot of them lately.
Theme of this is estate sales. I love this. Yes.
No, but I've been getting things like vases or Audubon prints.
Oh, nice.
Or like things like that are unique that you're not going to find everywhere else, especially for like mother-in-law who has everything already or things like
That's
that.
fun.
So she's not a listener, I hope. But yeah, so I'm finding things that way too, and that feels a little bit more sustainable as well.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. You guys need to give me all the tips. Have you found anything great? I need to know. Except again, I need to find my own estate sales. It sounds like.
No, come on. What are you doing Saturday? Let's go.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Amazing.
a great idea. I love that too, especially because like there's always like, you know, I don't know, random things that if you were to buy new, like would be, you wouldn't.
Right.
Like I don't know, silver tray or something or candlesticks or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Or, you know, if there's something that someone collects, if you know somebody who collects Waterford crystal and like you find like some pieces that are at an estate sale, it's going to be a lot less expensive. And, you know, it's still fantastic.
Yeah.
It's still fantastic.
Yeah.
Or like old books or something. You know?
I haven't been to one in a while. I'm feeling rusty.
I know. You know what? I always see the signs around and it's like always when I'm going somewhere in a hurry or something, you know, I don't know. I need to be better about just being like, I can stop.
Yeah.
It's worth it to stop and just take a few minutes and run through. You never know what you're going to find. Like, yeah. Should I give you a plug for where I find them all?
Yeah.
Estatesales.net.
Oh,
There's an app. There's an app for that.
Okay. Great. They tell you when they're popping up in your area?
So I only hit ones that are within a few mile radius from where I'm. Yeah. I'm not going too crazy. Yeah. I'm not going too far out.
Yeah.
But like, I found some in some really incredible homes here in Atlanta.
And just send you a notification.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to try it. That'd be fun.
Well, if so,
yeah, well,
I was going to say, I'm sure our radiuses are
similar. Yeah. Okay.
I'll go with you. Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Actually, you know, I feel like kids would probably think it was great fun.
Oh, Finn loves to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not taking my boys, but we could take your girls.
No, just send them out to the backyard and be like, play back there while we shop around.
Right.
Yes. They probably would do that.
Or give them like an allotment and say, okay, you know what? You have $3.
Yeah.
Find something. And
that's true too.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
That could be fun. I need to work on teaching her about money. It's starting to get to the point where she she wanted to do something like she's like, oh, can I go buy that? And I'm like, you can't afford that. Like you know, your tooth fairy money cannot buy ice cream for everyone in the family, you know? Like,
yeah.
I will say before we wrap up that I thought that last year we did our episode. I was just re-listening to it before I came in here because I wanted to make sure we weren't like repeating everything. But last year was great. It was a 2-part episode, 2 weeks back to back. So if you want more decorating ideas, we talked about, you know, lots of stuff. We talked about hosting and hosting guests and stuff. So that's another good one to listen back to if you're looking for more. And then our episode with Carson was also really fun.
Really great.
He's such a delight. So
yeah,
plenty of tips and tricks.
Yeah, I took a lot of notes during that conversation. Yeah.
He has such an approachable like thoughts on hosting, which I think is nice.
And something else I'd really love is if anyone is actually listening and you're really proud of your tree or you're really proud of your, we would love to see this because again, we can all share ideas. Like maybe you've learned something and you're like screaming at us as we're like, we don't have a hack for that. And you're like, I do.
Yes.
We'd love to see what you're thinking and doing because we're all in this.
Yes. Podcast at ballarddesigns.net.
Yeah.
Just send us your email or you can find all of us on Instagram too. So you can always DM us, but the podcast is where we'll all be able to see it.
Yes.
Together.
Yes. So I would love to see everyone.
Yeah, I really want to see what everybody else is doing
for the holiday. Yeah. So, and then any tips or tricks too for Hanukkah because I love to do a little switcherooski to all the blue.
Yeah. What are you going to do the day after?
I don't know
because you could really like since it's not it's like less overlapping. You can really kind of change things up if you're feeling motivated. Yeah.
I don't know yet. This was the launch of me being like, what are we doing?
I love all of the blue and white.
Yeah.
And there's so much more of it. I feel like now with like in, brands have more blue and white. We have so much more blue and white. And so that's kind of a fun way to like touch on both and like do a blue and white scheme for Christmas so that then it can transition like more easily,
Sound like it's so like perfect with the glitteriness of the new year too, to have that like kind of crystally blue with winter.
And keep it around. Yeah.
The lights too are so nice. So
where do you find a good menorah?
A lot of places have them. There was a really cute one last year at a boutique that I really wanted. But I have like one from Pottery Barn even. So there's a lot of retailers offer.
You can find them around.
Yeah. They're around. Don't worry.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Well, thanks everybody. That was our holiday special for the year. Woohoo! That's awesome. Thank you, Taryn, for hosting.
Of course. Thank you guys for coming. I'm so happy to have you.
And that's our show. You can find all of the show notes on our blog, howtodecorate.com/podcast.
To send in a decorating dilemma, email your questions to podcast@ballarddesigns.net so we can help you with your space.
And of course, be sure to follow us on social media at Ballard Designs.
Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. And please leave us a review. We'd love to hear your feedback.
Until next time, happy
decorating.